Hi, my name is Veronica, and you're watching Dontaesboxingnation. How did that one do?
That was very good. Do it just maybe one or two more, okay?
Do I like this fight? Absolutely not. We want to see Benavidez. Let's make it happen.
Speaking of Canelo, he's showing a lot of support for Isaac Cruz. What do you think about that?
Yeah, what I don't like is this, and I don't want to talk to Tank about this. You can't be wearing Canelo gloves and he's rooting against you. You know, I don't get it. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do it. And then it's not like, I mean, some gloves, we can wear 1,000 different gloves. The results, it's always going to be the same, but I can't wear your gloves and you root against me.
Watch today, not from the Canelo stable.
I think Tank, one of my favorites.
What is it about him that you like so much? Because I think you guys fight similar, have a similar style.
No, he's strong, he's smart, and he's very confident. A lot of things he have a lot of talent.
Okay, guys, so you heard right there, Canelo Alvarez, he was asked who is his favorite fighter outside of his own stable, and he said Gervonta Tank Davis is one of my favorite fighters. Coincidentally, the same fighter that Canelo Alvarez actually rooted against when Gervonta was fighting against Isaac Cruz, as you heard in my first clip with Floyd Mayweather. Listen, there's no doubt about it. Canelo Alvarez, he definitely gave Gervonta Tank Davis his credit after Gervonta Tank Davis has been doing everything to get Canelo Alvarez's attention. I mean, for those of you guys who don't even know this, Gervonta Tank Davis, he even invited Canelo Alvarez to walk him to the ring when he fought Mario Barrios. And Canelo Alvarez, he rejected the invitation and he never attended the fight live. Despite the fact that fighters like Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Mike Tyson, Terrence Crawford all attended Canelo Alvarez's fight live when Canelo fought Avni Yildirim. I mean, after all of those fighters showed Canelo Alvarez so much support, and with Canelo Alvarez saying that Gervonta is one of his favorite fighters, I would expect him to attend maybe the Gervonta Tank Davis Rolly Romero fight live. That Gervonta versus Rolly fight was a star-studded event. There is no fighter today that brings out more celebrities. I'm talking about outside of other boxers. There's no one that brings out more international stars and celebrities than Gervonta does today. So at the end of the day, Canelo doesn't have to show up, but it would have been a good look if he did show up, only because Gervonta is one of his favorite fighters to watch. You know, it's really funny how things work in the sport of boxing, because while Canelo Alvarez is saying that Gervonta is his favorite fighter, Gervonta, he's telling people that he's the Canelo Alvarez in his division, even after Canelo Alvarez got completely dominated by Bivol. So Gervonta says that he's the Canelo of his division, but when he was in the dressing room getting ready for the Rolly Romero fight, he was watching tape of Floyd Mayweather versus Artur Gatti, instead of getting ready by watching Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant, or even worse, Canelo Alvarez versus Bivol. It makes absolutely no sense to say you're the Canelo Alvarez of the division when you know that Canelo Alvarez is not the best fighter in his division. And you know that you are a much, much better fighter than Canelo Alvarez in every single department. If Gervonta Tank Davis and Canelo were in the same weight class, Canelo would be one of Gervonta's easiest fights. The fight would be way easier than the Romero fight. But going back to Canelo Alvarez, you know, there's no doubt about it. When Canelo Alvarez said that Gervonta is one of his favorite fighters to watch, and he broke down and explained why, I definitely believe that Canelo is being sincere when he says that. So the question once again remains, if Gervonta is one of his favorite fighters, why hasn't he ever showed up to watch a fight live? Why did he turn down Gervonta's invitation to walk him to the ring? It's because Canelo Alvarez was worried about his racist Mexican fans that probably wouldn't approve of him walking to the ring with a black American fighter. He felt like he would be looked at as a traitor by his people. especially when you consider the fact that Gervonta was fighting against a Mexican opponent. But then you have the Rolly Romero fight, where Rolly is not Mexican. That's another fight that Canelo Alvarez, he could have attended. For those of you guys who don't know, when Floyd Mayweather fought Victor Ortiz, Floyd Mayweather, he wanted Brandon Rios to walk him to the ring. Why? Because Brandon Rios and Victor Ortiz, they were beefing at the time. They didn't like each other. So Floyd, he was going to try to get into Victor Ortiz's head even more by walking to the ring with his enemy. But just like Canelo did, Brandon Rios, he turned down the invitation. He said basically, thanks, but no thanks, Floyd Mayweather. I mean, yeah, sure, this guy's my enemy and I don't like him, but he's still Mexican though. And you're black, remember? And this is pretty much what Brandon Rios was telling Floyd Mayweather. I mean, that's where Brandon Rios, that's where he draws the line. That's where Canelo draws the line. Canelo is willing to come out and say that Gervonta is one of my favorite fighters, but that's about as far as it goes. And the truth is, while all these fighters like Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and even Gervonta Tank Davis have been praising Canelo Alvarez, it was really supposed to be the other way around. All of that praise should have been coming from Canelo Alvarez. Canelo should have been praising these fighters because they are so much better than he is. Canelo should have been the one saying, I want to be the Shakur Stevenson of my division. I want to be the Gervonta Tank of my division. Because if he was one of those guys, Canelo would still be undefeated in his division, right? That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Deki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodeki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.
My name is Chris, and I'm all the way here from Anchorage, Alaska at ScalpCarolinas, and I'm here for my second treatment of SMP. Well, I was sitting at home one day and going over my Facebook page, and they have different, like advertisements popping up, and I saw one for SMP. And I saw some pictures of some guys, before and after, and I was looking at that, and it caught my attention. So I Googled it. SMP, nothing showed up in my area. So, I did a little more research, and all of a sudden, ScalpCarolinas popped up in the web browser. So I started watching his videos and seeing all the reaction from all the other people. We talked on the phone, we made appointments and everything. I sent him pictures, and he looked at them, and I was like, can you fix this? And, he pretty much said, no problem. My first session, he made me feel extremely comfortable. It was almost like I was talking to family. He started, and during the whole treatment, we talked and, about our families and our life, and, and things that he does and things that I do. And before I know it, the first session was over. When you see someone doing something that they love, as much as I see Enoch Glover love what he does, it shows in his work. I wouldn't point anyone in any other direction but here to North Carolina, ScalpCarolinas, to get this done.
Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs and defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.